Why I created the Destiny Saga. The Lost Influence. Hello, my name is Richard Scott, and I am writer and creator of the Destiny Saga, and this is my personal video blog explaining the things that inspired me and influenced the Destiny Saga. Today's blog post is going to be about something that retroactively inspired me doing this, because my story has been written as a movie since 1996, 97. But the TV show that I'm going to talk about today has some themes that have something to do with it. I've been watching a show called Lost for 6 seasons or whatever. And for some of you out there, you might not even care about the show. But hopefully, once I explain what it has to do with my story, it'll make a lot more sense. So I hope you bear with me. So I watched a show called Lost for a couple of seasons. And just a few things before I get into it. For those of you who watch Lost, just to let you know that this is not going to be about the ending of the show, because a lot of people some people loved it, some people hated it, and some people were like, but that's not the point I want to get to. And about the mysteries of the show, that's irrelevant to where I'm going with the story, because of the fact that I always felt on the show that the mysteries were metaphors to what the characters were going through. So for the rest of you who never watched Lost, just a little ideal of what it was about. It was about this plane that crashed on this island, and there were a bunch of strangers who were on there, and there was an argument and a debate whether they were there for a reason or not for a reason, and what was the purpose for those people to be on the island or whatever. I'm not going to ruin a lot of it, but I'm just going to get into a bunch of the themes that show had that have something to do with my book. And a lot of the stuff is interesting because I wrote the book when I was 18, 19, 17, 18, 19. And some of the things that are in the show kind of reflected what my story was about, to the point where I was like, really? Wow. So I'm kind of nervous sometimes of thinking, once my story gets out there into the open, that some people might think that some ideals came from the show, where it's way back there. I created it way back when, but I'm glad about copyright, because that proves that it was there, but whatever. So one of the themes of the show was about starting all over again. A lot of the characters in the show had personal issues that they were stuck in, they were frustrated about, and when they crash landed on the island, they kind of had a chance to restart their lives over again. I find that a very important theme in a lot of the books that I read, because of the fact that we make so many mistakes we make mistakes that we wish we could take back, and it's almost like you can't pull yourself out of that ditch. And that's something that the Lost characters have in common with some of the characters in my story. That factor of, if I can do things over again, how would I do it differently? A lot of the show's concepts, both like literally and kind of on a spiritual level, it's almost like it proves, or it doesn't prove, I want to say prove, I want to say it gives you an argument and it puts it there, but a lot of the show doesn't really make a decision one way or the other. It's kind of up for you to decide whether that character made some big differences in his or her life, or are they stuck doing the same thing over and over again. And I like the ideal of writing stories that you have a specific story. It has a beginning, a middle, and the end. But as far as when it comes to characters and themes, it's almost like you make a degree of a statement, you kind of imply your personal perspective on it, but at the end of the day, it's kind of up to you individual readers to take what you want to take out of it. And there's an ingenious thing on the show where, if you ever do get a chance to watch it near the end of the 6th season, it's almost like the argument of your perception rules your reality. I know I heard that somewhere in class somewhere. It's not an original thought, but that's another thing that the show talks about, where each character has a certain way of looking at the world, and the way that the story is being told in that specific episode, specific, not Pacific. I mean, I speak English, I know I really do. Each character on the show has their own episode, and it kind of deals with the show. The show kind of deals with their perspective. Even though you have other people in the background with their storylines, it kind of focuses on one character at a time. And a lot of my story structure deals with that. Like each chapter is like from the perspective of one character, and then the next chapter can be from another perspective of another character. And then there are some chapters that there's multiple perspectives flowing through in and out, and that's I say sometimes I let the story go with the flow, but I also try to have some degree of structure. So it's like that balance of going with the flow and having structure at the same time. But kind of like it depends on where the story takes me, whether it's going to be more structured or it's going to be more free-flowing. Because I believe that's the way that our life works sometimes. Like we have the structure, we go to work, we pay our bills, we go to work on time, clock in, check out, pick up our kids, go shopping. But then in between all of that routine, there's deviations from the path each and every day. Like when you wake up in the morning, you don't know if the day's going to be great or bad. You just have no clue. And that's another thing that I like, that whole perception affecting your reality situation. Another thing that the show does is it has different styles with each character. Each character has like a different style. Like one character can be like a doctor drama. Another character can be like the runaway, the person's on the run drama. Another character can be like the tragic soldier. Another story can be like a mob drama. And I'm very into stories that have different genres mashed in there, because I think a lot of our culture, a lot of our philosophy, like the whole concept of America and European culture and African culture, and I mean I can say pretty much every culture, but I'm focusing on just the American culture just for the argument, is that you have a bunch of people who have these different ideals about how the world works, and they have their own unique storylines. Like if I go to Chinatown, for example, there's a whole different feel to where I'm at, whether I'm at home or I'm working at a job or at school or whatever. Each different environment has a different feel and a different storyline to where it's going at. And I think it's kind of disingenuous to have this kind of like diluted, like what's what I'm looking for? Milquetoast. This kind of milquetoast storyline where it's like it has to be this one style and it has to stay that way. And to me, it's like, what's next? I mean, some of my favorite shows are in storylines or TV shows are like that. I don't want to ramble too much more on this situation because I really would like for people to watch the show. And I was thinking about another thing that I can do with my movement as far as getting the Destiny Saga out there, where if people are into these kind of shows or they want to bring shows to the attention, to kind of build like a community and go from there. Because I don't want to build a community that's just about my Destiny Saga story. So if you have any people who are into different type of storylines or whatever like that, we can all come together and kind of debate and bring new things to the table, because I'm always more interested into seeing what other people have, what they watch, what they're into. That's a good thing to always have. So I'm just going to wrap this video blog up with saying that if you're interested in my movement and you want to help out in certain ways, you can do a few things. You can purchase my ebook, which is called The Destiny Saga, The Two Princes. It's available for your Kindle and your Nook for $3, and you can watch it on your computer, or you can watch it from your phone or whatever, or your e-reader. And if you want to support my movement another way, you can post this on your Facebook, your Twitter, your website, or whatever. I'm more than happy to return the favor. If you have anything you want me to post on my social media, I'm more than happy to do it. And as usual, I like to say peace and be blessed.